have been living in diaspora for a long time. You've been investing back home. You've also made mistakes. You're carrying scars with you. You also want to come back home at some point, and you're scared. You have dependents back home who depend on every dollar that you send to them. If this is you that I'm describing, I want to tell you something. Start thinking like a Mzungu. Start investing like a Mzungu. Listen to this series and your life will never be the same again. God bless. See you. What are the mistakes that the people living in diaspora make while investing in Kenya, yes, or while investing back home? You know, every time I have gone, let's say, to Nanyuki to be shown land, I'm taken to this vacant acres and acres of land. And one of the common narratives that I hear is, all this land is owned by people in diaspora. In fact, it's supposed to stimulate me to buy the land. Acres. And the only thing that I can see besides the great savanna is zebras, okay. Zebras and other animals. And I ask myself, why is it that diasporans are so obsessed with buying land? For a long time, the diasporans have been so obsessed with buying land, and that has been their greatest weakness, because all that is money sleeping. It is money idle. It is money earning them nothing. In fact, I like calling it invest like a Mzungu. I have worked with many investors abroad, and one of the things that I've seen, the investors or Mzungus don't buy land here because they understand that land must come with proximity. The land that they invest must come with proximity. So if it is too many miles away, then it will end up being an idle asset. So one of the big mistakes that I have seen people living in diaspora making is investing in idle land. If only we can activate all the money, all the diaspora money that is locked in land, I think this economy would feel the impact. If all that money became active and generating cash flows, you would see a difference in our economy. It would completely transform the lives of the diasporans, and also it would transform our economy. There will be a ripple effect all over. Industries will be birthed, especially in this era of technology. We would see new businesses, startups, early stage businesses really boom if this kind of money was dedicated to this kind of activities. The second mistake I see the diaspora community making is starting businesses at home while they live in the diaspora. And they either trust their friends or they trust their relatives to oversee those businesses. Now, entrepreneurship is not something that you can do passively. Entrepreneurship is an active engagement. So the people in the diaspora have the vision of what the business is supposed to be. You know, I started a car hire business, I started a car wash business, I started an Uber business, I wanted to enable my family to be able to be financially free. But who is the vision carrier? The vision carrier is the person who is living abroad. Now, the people who are trusted to oversee this don't have the same vision. So, almost without fail, these businesses tend to come to a standstill. They either are mismanaged to the ground, or they are plundered. One thing or the other just happens because there are no systems to govern and to nurture the business to its success. So that's the second mistake that I see the diaspora is doing. The third one, what was the third one? So it was the second is businesses, isn't it? I am not sure where to place this, but I remember the last time I was in Boston and I was giving a talk. I was the only one who was selling a financial product. Everybody else was selling real estate, apartments, one development or the other. And I looked at all those opportunities that were being presented to the diasporans. They were in places where the rental yields were less than 10%, actually 6.5%, 8% at best. They were all off the plan, which is not a bad thing, but they were all off the plan. And I was in this space. I'm the only one standing out. I didn't have the fantastic presentations. I didn't have my presentation didn't have buildings and the lightings and all the graphics, the graphic designs that come with that kind of thing. But then I asked myself, what is it that I have to offer? And it hit me, even for a simple product like a money market fund, then it was earning about 9.3% per annum. That return already was better than the rental yields that they were going to get. Number two, this commitment they were going to make was 2 years away. It means the development was going to be completed 2 years from the point where they were committing. With my money market fund, they were going to earn a return almost immediately. By the end of that month, they would have seen their returns growing. The third thing was the real estate opportunities that were presented to them. They were going to wait for some time and go through a very long process of getting their title documents. Or else, with my just simple money market fund, they were going to get their title document immediately to show I am the rightful owner of this. And I wondered, there is even no comparison. So we have been brought up in this culture that you must own land, you must own real estate to show that you're doing well. But the real determinant of wealth is not the assets, it's the cash flows that are generated. The real barometer of good from bad wealth or good assets from bad assets is the cash flow. So if they committed 1 billion shillings to the real estate that day, and another group committed 1 billion shillings to my simple money market fund, the people who would have been in the money market fund would have been winners from day one. And they would have had 2 years head start. They would have earned money for 2 years before these guys even possessed their title documents. So that's another mistake. I have nothing against real estate. opportunities are is something we like calling opportunity cost. If today I'm presented with an opportunity to invest in a money market fund, I think today is about 15%. If I commit my 1 million in money market fund, I need to ask myself, what other opportunity have I missed by just committing my money in money market fund? If maybe the real estate would have brought me a 20% return and I have committed to a 15% return, my opportunity cost is a 20%. So this, I think the challenge I've seen with the people living in diaspora is that whatever opportunities are presented to them, they never go beyond that platform to see what else is available before making a decision. What is the opportunity cost if I commit to this? Whatever is presented to them, they don't have time to do due diligence, they don't have time to ask questions, they don't have time to do anything. They just part with their money and commit to something, and they will discover later on whether it was a good decision or a bad decision. So this is another mistake that I've seen the diasporans making. They invest in what is presented to them without doing due diligence and finding out what are the other opportunities that compete with that particular opportunity. Yes. So what would I advise people living in diaspora? People living in diaspora, first of all, need to acknowledge their limitations. Number one, you're many miles away. So whatever you commit to invest in back here, especially if it is a real asset, meaning it is a physical asset that requires someone to look after, nurturing, and all that, it is most likely you may not do very well because you are removed from that environment. So recognize that you are limited by your location. Number two, anything that requires operational or anything that requires operations for you to get your return is also a big disadvantage, because it means you will have to employ people, people need to be led, and again, you are too far away to oversee a team of people. So they are likely to plunder your business and bring it to the ground. If I was living in the diaspora, I would invest like a mzungu. Invest like I would be a financial investor. I do not invest in anything that requires my hands or the hands of other people. I would invest in financial assets. Financial assets are, you can see it on your phone, you can see it, it is not limited by location. Yeah. So invest like a mzungu, invest like a mzungu, invest like a mzungu, think like a mzungu, because you already live in a mzungu country. My brothers and sisters in diaspora, I hope you have enjoyed that series. It came from my heart. If you're planning to come back home, now you know how to do it. If you have dependents back home, now you know how to break away from that cycle of dependency. If you've made mistakes investing back home, now you know how to invest like a mzungu. Thank you for staying with me. God bless.